I'm going to mute everybody. Obviously, if you are here, thank you for taking the time out of your night to jump in here with us. If your success partner is not here, if your team is not here, encourage them to jump on next week with us. We will be going back to every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. So if you can get your success partners, your team on here, the more faces, the more fun. Like we just get to know each other a little bit, and it makes us feel more like a team. So I am going to share my screen. I've got a very brief presentation for tonight. Obviously, it's our normal stuff we go over every week, but we're going to watch a video today. And I'll get to that in a second. But I want to give humongous shout outs to Allie, to Casey, to Ashley, to Meg, to another Ashley, to Denise, and to Holly for locking in Success Club for February already. And Allie and, well, our leaders this month, Allie, Casey, and Ashley are all newer coaches. It's pretty incredible to see these newer coaches leading the team, and that just like lights my fire. I love seeing that. Tasha and Ellie are at Success Club 4, so they are right there. I have no doubt that they won't lock it in. Keep pushing for those goals, guys. This is what's going to get you on these trips with us. You're all like, I'm so jealous. I want to be there. This is what's going to get you there. Getting on those trips, or getting on Success Club, into Success Club. Casey is in her month 2 of Success Starter, so I just wanted to congratulate her and encourage her to continue pushing for Success Starter for next month. That'll be her free ticket to Summit. And this is our list right now that is going on this Success Club trip. I do have one spot that I have offered to someone else on the team right now, and we're waiting for that to be solidified. And if not, you may be a mystery surprise person that gets another invite if she can't go. But we are going to have one more person join us. So that is yet to be determined. But myself and Paul, Taylor and Dave, Ashley and Sab, Meg and Brandon, Denise, Holly and Tasha are going to be joining us in the Bahamas in what, like 29 days, something like that. So I'm really excited about that. Success Club Trip 20, successclubtrip.com /2020. It's in the bottom corner if I stutter. Successclubtrip.com /2020. This is our next Success Club trip. It is going to be at the Hard Rock Cafe in Punta Cana next year, March 25th to the 29th. If you want to be there, you can be there. All of you that have signed up as a coach, you're coaching, you're active, hit Success Club and you can get there. Your name must be on that registration list. So if you have not registered yet, go right now. I don't care. Successclubtrip.com /2020. Get your name on that list. Coach Summit. If you aren't going, you better be going. You should be going. Summit is for anyone. It can be, you could have signed up yesterday. You could sign up in 2 weeks. Whenever you sign up, you could sign up the day before Summit and still go to Summit. Summit is for all coaches at all levels. We encourage you all to be there. It is the biggest coaching event of the entire year, and we learned so much. Rachel Hollis will be there this year. We are, most of the people I'm pretty sure on this team are going to be staying together. I highly, highly, highly recommend you go. It is literally like, we have so much fun. It'll be weird for me because I will be very pregnant. So it'll be very different, but it'll be fun, and you guys might just need to help carry me places. But no, really. All right. We're going to talk tonight, listen and brainstorm tonight, actually. Tonight's going to be more of a discussion call about how to get more people to say yes. So I was going to go and make like this presentation and be like, well, this is how you attract to this, and this is how you do this. You guys have heard everything that I've said. You guys, I have told you what to do. So I think that when you hear it from someone else, you hear it differently because they tell you it differently, and you hear what you need to hear, okay? So we're actually going to listen to Miguel. If you guys haven't heard of who he is in the Millionaire Club. He has been top 10 coach. He is a man in Beachbody and a coach, which I think speaks volumes right there, right? There are not a lot of men coaches, not a lot of top men coaches on top of that. So to say that he has made this in this business means that he gets people to say yes, right? He is going to share with us. This video is only 18 minutes long. So if you don't have one, I'm giving you 1 minute. Time clock is starting now to go get a pen and paper. I want to make sure that you all have a pen and paper and you are taking notes during this call. It is going to be, like I said, only 18 minutes, but I want you to take notes of everything that speaks to you. Like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. Well, duh, why aren't I doing that? All of the things that speak to you or the actions that they tell us to do that make sense for you, I want you to write them down. And at the end of the call, we're going to kind of brainstorm of like each of our top takeaways, because what they say, you're going to interpret differently. And what you interpret might really resonate with someone else. We're going to share our takeaways, and then as a team, we're going to come together with 3 things that we can all implement this week. Okay, so this is going to be an action-filled call. So I am going to, if everybody's good, you've got the chat box if you have any questions for me right now. But make sure you've got your notes, and we are going to watch this little video. Let me know in the chat box if for some reason you can't hear it or anything like that.
Say it again. How many of you want to?
Here we go.
How many of you want to have the greatest mindset shift right now that will allow you to help more people, obviously sell more challenge packs, and increase your business? Say I. Did you guys not hear the question? Say it again. How many of you want to dominate, kill this business, be the top coach earning person in the entire company? Say I.
Hold on. Okay. Thank you for telling me this. Oh, it's telling me to resume share. Bring your window to the front. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Okay, that's what we're talking about. So way I want to start this is I want to help.
New share. Can you see it now? Okay.
Challenge packs and increase your business. Say I. Did you guys not hear the question? Say it again. How many of you want to dominate, kill this business, be the top coach earning person in the entire company? Say I. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So way I want to start this is I want to help you make that mindset shift right now, because to be honest, one of the most important things you can realize is that your brain is the most powerful muscle that you have. And some of you have that programming set up just a little bit off, and we're going to change it right now, and I'm going to prove it to you, because the problem is whatever your brain focuses on, it will achieve. I'm going to say it again. Whatever your brain focuses on, it will achieve every time. I don't know how or why this works, but it does. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, look around the room right now. Look around the room and find everything that is the color brown. Look around the room, find everything that's the color brown. Find all the brown things. There's a test coming up. Got them all? Write them all down. Okay, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Yell out everything that's the color blue. What happened? Okay, open your eyes again. Look at all the things that are blue. Find all the things that are blue. Close your eyes, and on the count of 3, yell out all the things that are blue. 1, 2, 3, go. Open your eyes. What happened? Because you guys focused on something, your brain focused on it, and you achieved it. And some of you wanted to win so badly, you called things blue that were yellow. So here's the thing. Objections are opportunities to share your story. So let's reprogram one thing right now that most of you have a little bit off. You believe that objections work against you instead of objections working for you. Write that down. Some of you believe that objections are working against you instead of working for you. And many of the top coaches have realized that objections help us. There's simply another opportunity for you to share your story. It's funny, yesterday before I went on stage to do this talk, I was talking to someone to help them get started with a challenge pack. And they said no to me. It was funny because I was hitting the stage to talk about this topic, and they said no, and it didn't bring down my confidence. And that's a big key for you. See, some of us believe that when we fail, we've actually lost. I teach my son all this all the time. I tell him there's only winning and there's learning. And when you learn so much more than when you did when you would have won. And so when you get an objection, you simply have to understand this. It's just another opportunity for you to tell your story. And I'm going to show you how I tell my story a little bit later.
So let's talk about the best way to handle objections. First of all, raise your hand. There probably won't be any hands that go up, right? But raise your hand. I don't know if you've ever gotten one. What? Wait, look around. Because sometimes we get into our bubble at home in front of our laptop and we think surely we're the only one that someone has said Shakeology is too expensive to. No, look around. There's 20,000 other people here who've had an objection. So the best way to handle them is not to get them in the first place. Let's talk about what's going to help you not to get them. Because actually, that's a little bit of a misnomer. You're going to get them. We're all going to get them. And the only difference between Miguel and I and some of you, because I know some of you are here for the first time, is that we've been in it a little bit longer, so actually we've heard more. We've had the opportunity to hear more people tell us no and try to figure this out. And that's what it is. It's a journey of figuring it out. So how do you not get them? How do you deal with them when you get them? That stems from belief. That stems from belief. We're going to talk about that for a moment as we start to break these down. Your belief is your armor. Every single time you press play, drink a shake, have conversations, and read, that is building your armor. Let me ask you another question. How many of you here in this hall have had your life changed for the better in some way by seeing this body? In some way. That's your armor. Because no matter what, no matter if someone tells me, well, those at-home workout programs don't work. That Shakeology can't work. It doesn't matter. Why? Because your armor is so strong from building your belief every single day that even when you get them, you can handle them. It's not that you're not going to get them. But how can you handle it? How can you build that belief? And when we were talking about this presentation, we found that most objections seem to fall into these three categories: money, time, and belief.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, we actually laid everything out, and we looked at all of the objections we've gotten. And the good news is you only got to worry about three. Okay, that's the truth. Money, time, belief. Now, how to deal with them? The honest reality is, to get people to say yes, you're going to have to go through and figure out why they actually said no. Why did they say no? See, people don't say no for the reasons that you and I believe they say no. See, some of you believe that people say no because, they don't have enough money, or they don't have enough time or belief. And what I want to talk to you about today next is the money issue. Let's talk about money, shall we? Because we all got that. How many of you ever got I don't have enough money? This one always boils down to I don't need Shakeology, I don't like it, or you know what, I'm going to get the base kit instead, or I'm going to cancel my HD order for this, I'll put it on hold, I'll get it again next month, no problem. All these things happen, but what they actually come down to is what they're telling you is they don't see the value yet in what they're about to purchase from you. Does that make sense? So what happens is, as I told you before, when you hear an objection, let's give you an example. How many of you have heard the one where I can't afford Shakeology? Raise your hands. How many of you continue to hear that over and over again? Raise your hands. That's a hint that you should work on that one, by the way. Now, here's the thing. The good news is, when you hear those things, all that's happening is on your social media and whatever you're doing in life, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, all these things, you're simply not showing enough value in that. Or when you told them your original story, you never brought it up. And I'm going to show you how that works a little bit later, how I tell my story so that I don't even get the money objection. I used to get it all the time, but I get it less and less these days.
Make sure you're following Miguel on social too, because as we've been getting to know each other more, he's really brilliant at anticipating that stuff too. So make sure you're following him so you can sort of see what he's doing to share. Let's talk about time. Has anyone ever heard, I don't have time to work out? 10-minute trainer. We also have T25. We have a great program called Insane Focus. There's a modifier in it for you. None of those programs take a lot of time. What they're telling you is, I'm not making myself a priority. I'm not making myself a priority when they're telling you they don't have time. We all have time, yes? We all have the time. They're saying they're not making themselves a priority. Now, why are we sharing sort of these translations with you? And we're going to talk about the belief one as well. We're sharing them because it's so important for us to realize, especially as we get into this business, it's so important for us to realize that these objections are never about us. When they're telling you it's too expensive, when they're telling you they don't have enough time, when they're sharing something that boils down to belief, it's never about us or the product or the program. Who's the objection about? Who's it about? It's about them. So when you know that, when you truly know that, doesn't that make handling them so much easier? It's not personal. Team Beachbody, it's not personal. It's not for us. Those objections are about them. We haven't educated them on why Shakeology is worth $4 a day. We haven't educated them on how we have workouts that fit into their lives and that they are a priority and they are absolutely worth it. And we haven't educated them that they are worth it. They can make the time. And it's not about belief in the products or the programs. It's that they don't believe in themselves. So here's the cool part. That's where you come in. That's what we do. We take that belief that we have, because you have it, because you just told me that your life is better because of Beachbody, yes? So we take that belief and we transfer it to them. Because they're not saying they don't believe that P90X or Insanity or T25 or 21 Day Fix. They're not telling you that those won't work. They clearly do. There are 8,000 success stories around. They're saying they don't believe in themselves. And that's called coaching to help them do that.
And one of the things I wanted to add to that as we were talking about this, which was really quite interesting, was that although it's about them, which is true, sometimes, check yourself, I won't ask you to raise your hands, sometimes the objection you get is your own objection. Sometimes when you hear, I don't have the income, it's actually yourself actually believes that you don't have the income. And so I want you to just personally write that down. If that's your issue on any one of these, you can't spread that belief unless you believe yourself. All right, so I want to move on to this one, and I want to prove something to you, because every change begins with a no turning into a yes. Let me show you something. Okay, I want everybody to stand up. Just stand up. Yeah, stand up, Beachbody. I know your legs are dead. Oh, someone literally jumped up.
Yes.
That was awesome. All right, I want you to do something for me. I want you to raise your hands. Raise your hands high as you can. All right, put them back down. All right, I want to prove something to you. See, what you just did, you actually raised your hands to your ceiling level. That's what you believe right now is as high as you can. Just like right now, some of you believe Success Club 5 is as high as you can. Some of you believe 10, 20, 25 as high as you can. Watch this. Raise your hands as high as you can. Raise them a little higher, 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 higher. Some people are standing on chairs. Higher, reach up for the stars. Now go back down. Okay, you can sit back down. Here's the thing. That's what we do as coaches. We get people to push just a little bit harder. You're always going to hit that ceiling in life. The people you're talking to hit that ceiling in life all the time. They truly believe what they're telling you. What you have to do is help them to push through the challenge, explaining your story. Now, this is a cool part where I get to share my story, but I'll share it really quickly. Okay, and this is one of the biggest differences between many of the top coaches in the network and the other coaches in the network. And quite honestly, they all started the same spot, but they've just done this more and more, so they've gotten really good at it. And that is anticipating the questions that they're going to get before they get them. See, if you ever get, well, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, chances are you already know they're going to ask those questions. Chances are when someone reaches out, they're going to say, how much does it cost? And so before you get into that, what you really have to do is weave it into your story. That's the key. So let me give you an example. Let's say I knew that I was going to get an objection of I don't have enough money and I don't have enough time. Here's how I tell my story. I'd say, when I got started with Beachbody, I was going to the gym all the time. I was spending so much money at the gym. I'd go 2-3 times a week for about 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'd stop and I'd keep paying, and I'd buy all these supplements that I really had no idea what I was buying. And then I ended up buying a challenge pack from Beachbody. It was on sale. I only paid $160. It was amazing. I got over 6,000 freaking programs. I get bored really easily, and I also needed ones that were very quick to do. Sometimes I'd have an hour, but sometimes I was traveling a lot. I was working 40 hours a week. I was so busy. My wife was pregnant. I didn't have any other option but to get this program because I needed the time. I literally could work out in my underwear. I did the whole program. I lost 80 pounds. I feel freaking amazing on fire. And the bonus is I also got some portion control eating containers that actually allowed me to figure out how to eat properly without counting various things that I had no idea how to count. They call them macro something. I don't even know what they are. It was super cheap. I had so much time to do it. And it was awesome. That's what Beachbody did for me. Thanks. You're clapping for yourselves, and I'll tell you why, because you're going to get there one day. Because you're all going to be here doing that same thing. See, what happens is as you get better and better, you'll be able to do that too. But you got to stick through it. You got to stick through the nose. It's like when you drive somewhere, when you first start driving, you're like, okay, I got to drive, signal on. Do I go out of here? I failed my driving test once, by the way. You're thinking about all these things. But how many of you have ever driven somewhere, you got there, you have no idea how you got there? Right? So it becomes automatic. Most of you, some of you, quit before it becomes automatic. All the top coaches don't quit until it becomes automatic. So we're just doing it all the time. We don't even notice it. You have to learn to anticipate from other people's questions.
So I think this summit has felt different if you have been to other summits. Those of you that have been to other summits, do you agree that this has been it's full of joy and gratefulness? I know I've cried like since I got here on Tuesday. I've cried every day, constantly. But I think one of the biggest pieces I'm taking away is there are so many actionable items that I'm taking into next week, and that's what we want to give you. So as we talk about the 4 vital behaviors, I know that's super unsexy. As Darren Hardy said today, that's the compound effect. We know that you're doing a program. We know you're drinking a shake, you're doing your personal development, you're having conversations, you're recognizing your team, but just gut check yourself. Are you sharing that with your team? Are you sharing that on social media? Are you making sure to get that personal development in every single day? That builds your armor, that builds your belief, and that helps you navigate through the objections. Not get them, but navigate through them. 4 vital behaviors, absolutely key.
So listen, I want to go quick. Listen, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Here's a big tip you want to write down. 80% of the conversation, whether it's social, online, or through the phone, has to be them talking. You got to ask them questions like crazy. Because when you ask those questions, the way that I did what I did, I told you I knew what they were going to ask, is because the first thing I say is, tell me a little bit more about you and what you struggle with. So they'll tell you, well, I don't have the time, I don't have this, I don't have that, this is what I like. And when you ask the right questions by listening, even though I know you're anxious and you want to jump in and you want to share everything, take a step back and don't do it.
We could use like 20 minutes.
Can we get 20 more minutes?
Can we just
put that? Fantastic.
Let's talk about understanding their why, because again, that's what we do as coaches. We connect people with solutions that work. We can only do that if we understand why they want to get fit, have more energy, feel healthier, get lean, lose weight, whatever, work out in their home, whatever it might be. We have to ask enough questions to understand why they want to be a part of this challenge group so we can connect them with a solution that works. Not a solution that we think, a solution that works for them. That's called coaching.
And relate to them. You have to relate to them. So you got to ask them things about themselves, but also watch it. Okay, don't overtake the conversation. Don't have a 30-minute conversation about junior and how baseball practice went. Because they're going to have to go at some point. People are, how long do you spend on Facebook? You got 20 minutes, you're in, you're out. So don't let that conversation overtake the rest of it.
I got to tell my story quick. Okay. Get your mindset right and your intention. The two go together. Let me tell you a quick story. We have 3 daughters. One of them is an aspiring ballerina. Several summers ago, she went to Boston. She went to Boston Ballet's summer intensive. Now, before she went, she was pretty sure that this ballet thing, kind of like this fitness thing, she was pretty sure this ballet thing was what she wanted to do. She went to Boston. The switch flipped for her. The light bulb went on. Everything changed. She came back. Her mindset was different. Her intention was different. Everything she has done from that point has been focused and very clear. This is your Boston Ballet Summer Intensive. This right here. When she went out there, she understood that she could do this. She could. You are looking around at 20,000 coaches who are doing it. Why not you? Why not you? It's mindset, it's intention. So use this event, use this summit that feels so special and so amazing this year to build your armor, to build your belief, to know that you're going to get objections, you're going to navigate through them, and every time you do, changing your life. And that's not just what we do, it's who we are. Thank you, Team Beachbody.
Oh my gosh, I love them. So we actually watched that. If you were at Summit last year, you watched that live. We were in that workshop. I just watched it again, and I have a whole new list of things. Because every time you watch a training like this, you get something different from it. I feel that way with like any training I watch or any church sermon I ever listen to. Like you just get something different in the phase you're in that time. So who here got something from that? Hopefully everybody. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. I'm just going to kind of randomly call on a couple people to kind of give their takeaways. There's actually not that many of us, so we're all gonna talk tonight. Denise, what were your biggest takeaways from that video?
The one I liked the most was that he was talking about weaving the cost into your story and talking about how it saves you money and how you used to spend all that money and now it does, now it's so much cheaper and you have all these things so that by the time you talk to people, they know that it's going to be a good value.
Yeah. So that I'm going to take from that you get the money objection a lot.
I do.
Okay. So then that makes sense because that makes sense then because that means that you're not sharing the value of Shakeology. People don't feel the value or whatever the money objection is about, whether it's a program or whatever the objection is about, that must mean that in your post personally, you're not sharing the value of that. So like, that's what he was saying. So our objections that we get are because in our personal posts, people are not seeing that specific objection's value. So it could be money. It could be the value of the product itself. It could be the time. We might look like all we do is fitness. And people are like, I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? It could be that they have a full-time job and they don't think they have enough time for coaching because I'm a full-time coach. They won't look at me and be like, people that work full-time are going to look at me and be like, I don't have time to do what you do because they don't have time to do what I do. You know what I mean? But they did when I started 2 years ago. So, but I don't share that anymore. So that's my biggest thing. My biggest objection I get is time. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time for something else. And so I think what you're saying is like, I really loved how he was like, your objections, he said objections works against you instead of for you is what we said. And I think that that's something we can all focus on is like, what objections do we personally get? Maybe we need to make a list of the objections we get and intentionally weave them into our stories. So I like that. Thank you for sharing that, Denise. Morgan, you're next.
I think my biggest one was that when he said objections are an opportunity to share your story, I definitely feel like that's something I struggle with. So I definitely want to work on that. But it was very helpful for him to say that and bring that up in his speech there.
I love it. So same kind of thing, same path. You guys were on the same brain wavelength there. So that means that from what I could gather is that when you were listening to this, you were really thinking about like the objections. Like that's what you're struggling with in your business right now is the people that are saying no, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I love that. I really think, okay, I'm going to keep going, but I have an idea for a call to action. Okay. Ashley Miller, you're next.
I already had those two things. I guess that their objections aren't actually what they're saying they are. You have to like read behind the lines, and that they don't have money means they don't see the value. They don't believe in the product means they don't believe in themselves. Just all those translations. We have to remind ourselves of them and talk them through them.
Right. I totally agree. So, because when someone says, no, I don't have money, conversation doesn't need to be over. Like, you don't need to just end there. Or someone's like, no, I don't have time. That doesn't mean the conversation needs to be over. That also doesn't mean it's our job to convince them. It doesn't mean that we need to push them. But it does mean, like, oh my gosh, I can totally understand that. Like, if I were talking to a friend who is like, I can't afford $130 for a shake, I'd be like, neither can I. I can't afford $130 for a shake, but I can justify it for this because XYZ. And I just wanted to throw this in here because this is like the thing. I have two things that are like big circled on my page. But the armor, like your armor, you have whose life here has been somehow changed by Beachbody? I would like to think that everyone here has somehow had their life changed by Beachbody. Whether that just means like in your personal fitness, whether that means in your like emotional state, whether that means in your friendships, whatever that means, how deep rooted that is, I think is going to be how heavy that armor weighs on you. How much do you stand behind what we do? Do you believe in what we do? Do you believe in our products? Do you believe in our programs? Do you believe in this community? Because if you believe in it, you can preach it all day long, right? That's kind of like anything you believe in. If you believe in God, you could preach God all day long, right? If you really believe in something, you could preach it all day long. And if you really believe in this, like, use that as your armor. And when someone comes and says no to you, make that your opportunity to educate them, like explain to them like why this is amazing, and don't take it personally. Okay, Kat, what was yours? I'm just going in order.
Okay. I definitely like the way he said, like, the objections are not about us. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Because I always feel that it is me the reason why they're saying no to me at that point in time. Like, it's maybe the way I worded something or the way I said it. You know, I came off maybe too aggressive about it. So I just got to keep reminding myself that when they do say no at that point in time, like, it isn't me that's the reason why they're saying no. Who knows what could be going on in their life? Like, I'm just following based upon what they post on Facebook and social media, especially people I don't personally know, like on a personal level. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You know? So I've noticed too, like, it took me a year to say yes to you, you know, I tell myself all that all the time. So I just have to keep telling myself it's not because of me. It's not because of me, kind of thing. I don't know. More PD for me.
That's so true. If you can recognize that right there, that you need personal development, if you're not doing it every day, you can feel it. If you don't, because that really does build, like he says, it builds. It's not your armor. It's not building your armor, but it's building your belief in you.
Mm-hmm.
It's building your belief in you to be the best version of you. You know what I mean? But I really love to, like, kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, is saying like that it's not about us, but it's our job to tell them, I believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a girl message me today. She's been in our challenge groups in the past. Like, immediately as soon as he said that, I was like, I need to go talk to her. She's been in our challenge groups in the past, and she messaged me today, and she's like, I am the heaviest I've ever been, and I have no motivation. That is her crying for help. Well, she wouldn't just message me that. She obviously cares, you know what I mean? So she is like crying for help, but she needs someone to believe in her because she doesn't believe in herself right now. And why am I sitting there being like, well, how bad do you want it? Like, that's kind of the conversation we were having, was how bad do you want it? Because I can't do it for you. I need to turn around and be like, I believe in you. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, those words need to come out of my mouth. So that was something I was thinking about. Taylor.
Hold on, I took a bunch of notes on my computer.
Good.
I'm literally like scrolling. I was typing it all so I could actually have it. I mean, a lot of the things that I took from it is like what you guys are taking from it. but it's coming to me at a good time. Like we listened to them speak at Summit.
Yeah.
I can't believe that because it seemed like.
He was the Miguel, they took it out of that, but he made us close our eyes.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I remember hearing him speak and I was like crying the whole time. So
yes.
that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes. So I really just like, I kind of said it in the chat box too while we were watching it, but it's totally like, I feel like I get so focused on like, this person doesn't like want to join me, or like I make it so personal when really it's like, it is about them. And like, you need to instill that belief in that person that they are worth $160 investment. They are worth, even if it was $1,000, like they are worth an investment in themselves when I know what this did for me. And I know it can do it for that. Like it can do the same thing for that person as well. My thing about like, I feel like I share that in my posts though. That's the only thing. Like, I feel like I share my objections in my posts, but maybe not money. Cause that's like an awkward topic and I don't want people to like get, I don't know, offended, but at the same time, like, who cares, I guess. I share a lot about, I think, belief in someone, but that, and then I really liked, like when he said, raise your hands up, and like you raised it as far as you thought you could, but really you can like keep reaching and stand on your chair. And like, that's like life. That was helpful to me as well. So yeah, I took that from that.
Yeah. I liked both of those as well. So, yes, I don't think I have anything to add to those right now. Those were good and thorough. Megan.
Okay, had to unmute myself. I like that the objections can work for us and not against us, instead of like feeling down about them, just use them to our advantage kind of thing, which is kind of what everyone was saying. But
Right. And actually, I thought of you specifically while I was listening to part of this, because he said the value, talking about value. You asked me today, like, when do I stop talking and like invite them and give them the price and stuff? Because Megan and I have been talking, and she said she's quick to throw the price at them and then they say no, right? But we don't build that value. They don't see how much this is, like, they need this product in their life. So I was thinking about you when he was saying that. I really loved how he said 80% of the talking should be them. So we should be learning all about them, their goals, their desires. What would their life look like if they lost that 20 pounds? What is their life lacking right now that they could gain from our community? You know what I mean? And it's asking all those questions to be like, this is why you really need it, and let them convince themselves they need it. We don't need to convince them. They can convince themselves when they know the value and what we offer. So as you're talking to them, your conversation might not be one day. It might be 3 weeks of conversations before you even have that invite. But when you're talking to people and they're telling you that, like, they don't have support at home, I hope one of your posts that next week are about support. And how, if you don't have support at home, I'll be your support. And then if they're like, I don't have time. If you don't have time, there's quick programs for you. Like, as you're getting those objections, you should be writing them down and you should be writing posts. Like, all of those objections should be your posts. Every single time you get an objection, that should become a post the next day. And every time you get like anything coming at you, like, you should turn those around and be like, this is why, without like trying to convince them, but making it a post, because they're not the only one that feels that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that too. All right, Taylor, I'm putting you in the hot seat. As we wrap up this call, I've got 2 like call to actions for us for this week. I've got 2 though, so you're gonna have to come up with a third, because I want 3. So I'll give the 2 and then you come up with 1 more. So be thinking. I would like us as a team, these are our takeaways for this week, to take away from this call is, number 1, make a list of all the objections we receive. What objections do we personally get often? Okay. Or maybe we got once, but it was from our dream coach. Like big objections that we've gotten that have stopped us from whatever. Make a list of those objections, and then take those objections and make them into posts. Weave them into your story. Okay. So personally, this is going to help you guys make content for this week. This should be pretty easy for you guys to help make content for this week. If you've got price objections, you've got time objections, you've got support objections, you've got no equipment objections, small space that you have nowhere to work out objections, my kids are crazy. Those are tons of posts right there. Those are all objections I've heard. I don't have, what else? What other ones can I think of? I have a gym membership. I have a personal trainer. I have this other shake that I still have, like whatever it is. Make a list of those objections and make posts out of them for this week. Okay. As you do those posts, if you guys see those posts from each other, share them in the team page. I'd love to see them. And I think the team would love to see the ideas and different posts, so we can share those in the team page. Second one, we all have follow-up lists, right? We've all got people we've talked to in the past, hopefully hundreds of people we've talked to in the past who have said no. They've said no because they don't believe in themselves. I want us to all find 15 people this week. So that's like 2 people every day off of your follow-up list who you can reach out to and express to them that you believe in them for them. That's 2 people a day out of your power hour. It should take like 5-10 minutes. And those would count as follow-ups or start new conversations if it's been a while. So those are my 2. Taylor, how about one more takeaway for us?
As you were talking, I thought of 2 and you said them both. I was going to say, because I feel like, yes, time, money, and
belief.
Thank you, are the most common, but like within those, like you were just saying more of them. And just like people who, like I just did this the other day specifically because a girl said she just had a baby 3 months ago and she really wants to get back in shape, but she doesn't like think she can do it yet. And I was like, I shared Ashley and Ashley's transformations because they both just had babies 3 months ago. So I was like, okay, girl, I see you. I want to see everybody do like once a day, one objection in your posts. So if it's money, if it's somebody that recently had a baby, if it's somebody that drinks another shake, but they like don't want to justify spending money on Shakeology because they have something that they think is better. If it's somebody that has kids, like whatever it is, I think we need to do like one a day.
I think so too. So why don't we just leave it at those 2 then? Those 2 takeaways for this week, and just like really go at it. Make a list of the objections, weave them into your story, and then 15 people to follow up with and tell them you believe in them.
It's perfect to use those 15 people and what their objections were.
You know what the third one could be? The third one could actually be PD every day. I know, that's scary, right? Diamonds, you 4 diamonds I see on here right now, all better be doing your PD. We've already got a book and I already paid for it. So I don't want to hear any objections to that. And everyone else, if you need book suggestions or anything like that, I think it's really important that we do PD every day. And to make that a real habit for yourselves, finding when and how to put that into your schedule. But it is so important to arm yourself with that personal development.
Quick, like side note to that, at NLC, they were saying like Amy Rada, who literally like jumped to 15-star in like a year. She said she filled all those times like that were all those like, okay, doing her makeup, running in the, I can't like talk today, you guys. Doing her makeup, like while she's getting ready for the day, while she's driving, no matter what, like Audible was always on, like just during those random times in your day where you're doing something, but like your mind isn't actually focused on it. It's just like doing dishes, just busy work. And I really liked that. So I've been like trying to implement that. If I'm not in like actively focusing on something, I have like an Audible book going in the background. Or even like I'll go to YouTube and like look up Tony Robbins stuff because he's like super motivating.
That's how I did my book for the book group last time, because I don't have time to sit and read, or
exactly.
Those kids screaming at me and climbing on me, and it just doesn't happen.
If I sit and read, I fall asleep every
Yeah, that too.
So I have to listen to it on Audible. I listened to it on the beach today, which is why this happened. But I I love that. Okay. So those are our 3 call to actions. And then there was something. Oh, by the way, that what we just listened to was Summit. That was an hour session from Summit. So if you think about that in 3 days of 10 hours a day of amazing, mind-blowing, all the information, like, but the energy, you heard of them. Like they were like clapping and shouting and crying in the audience. Like the energy from there, you just get so much from it. Like you think you cried on this call, you don't even know.
I have Rachel Hollis.
Oh my gosh, with Rachel Hollis, I can't even imagine. I'm going to just be crying the whole time. I cried through her entire movie.
I cried all of Summit, literally constant.
Literally. I have pictures of her. I just like kept like taking pictures of her like crying next to me.
Yeah, except this is Stephanie. What is it about this that's making you cry? Why do you feel this way? And I was like, just let me feel how it feels right now. Okay?
I like to know the things. I want to know the inner, deeper parts of you. Okay. I love it. I love that I get to chat with you guys every Thursday night. So thank you guys for jumping in. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to chat more often, I'm happy to. So just send me a message. You guys have a great night. I'm going to go hug my mama before she leaves. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.